Good morning, welcome to today's London session with Harmonic Scanner and Pitchforks. And let's start sharing screen, see what we've got in the London session. So first of all, we always look at the red flag news first. And I've got a couple of new scans, but I'm not sure about the D points because sometimes I move them, but I haven't been sure about these ones. So we might have a quick look at those. So Thursday, we've got Euro news coming up this at lunchtime, 3 lots of news, and then CAD later on, Canadian dollar. So that might affect the movement on the euro this morning. Let's write down CAD, red flag, London. Okay, so let's have a look. This was one of the ones I'm not sure about moving that D point, Eurnzd, and it is one of my favorites because it hasn't moved on the scanner. We'll look at some other things, but if anyone's got any ideas what they would do with it, let me know, because I know sometimes we debate it. There you see, and it just doesn't look right because it would, a scan is always reversal points from high to low or vice versa. So when I went down to the 1 minute, it should really be up here, but I don't know, I don't feel very confident moving it. But really you'd pick that point up here. So not sure what to do on Eurnzd today. I'm going to have a think about that.
I moved it to the top on mine.
Oh, I'm going to move it then, because normally I would. I don't know why I wasn't so confident to move it. Yeah,
I drew it like it is on there first, and
yeah,
I thought, I'm not happy with that, so I moved it to the top.
Yeah, thanks for that. I agree. I just needed someone else to give me the confidence on it. Did you move it to this solid one or the wick one?
To the wick. Moved it to the wick.
See, normally I'd just do that and not worry about it. I don't know why I wasn't feeling so.
And price is right at the midline now.
Oh yeah, that works, doesn't it? Thanks very much for that.
But it's rejected off it. The trade I'm in now, it's rejected off it 2 or 3 times.
Well, I just happened to catch a little bit of what are they called? Zach and whatever on Go Live, and he just looks at price action, and he was looking at the euro and how it was working. But sometimes I don't like to look at they do banker strategy, which is great. Sometimes I don't like to look at other people's stuff because I don't want to bias, because they're over in the States as well, and also they might not be so tuned in to the red flag news this morning. So he was looking at it going up and then down, but I don't want to really get to that. Looks much better to me. Thanks for that. Let's lock that on, right, and then let's have a look at what it's doing. Oh, we've got a slight let me just look at the way the pitchforks are going. So this is one of those unusual ones, because although it's a sell scan, our pitchforks are pointing slightly upwards. So it's one of those 5%ers, which are not, I think, the best scans, is what Chance says. But let's have a look where it is at the moment. So as Charlie said, it's just trying to push through now on that midline. So we've got the 62 has crossed above for a buy. We've got a pitchfork touch. I can just see there 2 outer extensions on an old scan. Sometimes I find price does turn on those. And we've got it obviously above quarter theory. So we've got pitchfork touch 1. We're waiting for a break and a retest. It seems to have pushed above. And we've got second confirmation, the orange above the blue, and we can see an upward trend here. That's a bit too wide. I think you'd want to pick up those points there. So you've got some touches to the other side as well.
That's how I've got mine drawn up.
Oh, thanks.
I'm about 22 pips up or something now, I think.
Oh, well done.
Something like that.
That's very good. Blimey, I'm a bit slow today. Yeah, very nice. So with the EN, you'd expect it to give you about 50 pips. So if it does a break and a retest, we'd be looking to that quarter theory. 46 pips there. And at the moment it's 5 pips up. Let me just come out to the 15-minute. That's worked its way almost down to the C point. Sorry, let me just check my C point down there. I know for people who are new, it might seem a bit fiddly the way we check on the 1 minute, but it's that enables us to work with a 10 pip stop loss or 15 pips if you want one of these faster ones. And if you don't get the angle, the precision right here, then the angle over a period of months, and we trade these for many months on, if you get them on accurately, but if you don't, then 1 pip out now will be 50, 60 pips out over a period of months, rendering your ability to trade it totally invalid, and you won't be happy with your financial results. And I just noticed that I didn't have that locked on correctly when we were on the hourly. I could see it was off. This is why you can't really trade this strategy that easily on your phone. If you're at work, you do need to really come back to your computer. And
there's quite a good little, it's quite small, but there's a small inverted head and shoulders just where we are now, coming out of it.
Oh yeah, what, still saying it's going up? That's good. I've never been very good at the head and shoulders stuff. I know Les is brilliant at it. I never really learnt it because Chance has never he never mentions it. I suppose he likes to keep things simple. So when I learnt all this off him, I was saying to Robert the other night, I was so frustrated at going around all the strategies. I just noticed my A point wasn't on either. I don't know, maybe it glitched when I was drawing it. I had a very uncomfortable sofa bed in what was my little study. And I literally said, right, I'm going to stay in here till I learn this. And I stayed in there. I know it's a bit extreme. For 9 months, as I said to Robert, I could have had I don't know why all this is off. It must have glitched when I must have moved it accidentally. Could have had a baby in that time. And I literally lived in there and said, I'll just come out for food, see to the guests, because I had the holiday apartments at the time, and go shopping and walk the dog. And I just literally lived in there till I learned it. And it was just the way I felt I had to do it. So lock that. Right, let's lock that pitchfork on. They are locked on. Okay, sorry about that. Let me just check that looks right. I'll need to put that in the group again. That looks better. Right, okay. Oh, I see. That's your inverted head and shoulders. So there, there, and there. Yeah, so we're just waiting for a retest. Sometimes we don't always get that. If you've got a strong momentum and then you see price reverse down on you, retrace with a strong candle, and then it'll give you an impulse move up. So you can, I don't always do it. You can just get in off that. I prefer to wait for the break and retest.
I got in off that strong candle that came through quarter theory at the top of that.
Yeah, exactly. So that exactly perfect example, Charlie. So he saw that retrace down to the 62, which held it, strong impulse up, and then he was in. You didn't have to, perfect example. You didn't have to wait for a retest.
I just thought when it's that strong up, it's not going to come back.
Yes, and he did break a rule,
Yeah.
which is getting it on quarter theory, but it was a very good call, and he could see the orange had crossed above the blue as well. So, and he probably had, as well, he did have his trend line like that. So
it was a 61.8 retracement, I think. Hold on, I'll tell you. Yeah, 61.8 retracement.
Not someone else breaking the rules.
yeah, well, you little tinkers.
My theory was that there was a massive scan on EN, and there was 3 quarter theories in between each fork, wasn't there?
Yeah.
The last big scan that there was,
Yeah,
560 pips, whatever it was.
So you had that, like, sorry, I've done that wrong.
I can't remember which point I went off now because it must be.
Well, it must be this. It must be.
Yeah,
this
it must
one.
be there. Yeah, it must be off that
Because
one.
Fib, I know you can put fibs within fibs, but just for the purposes of showing everyone a very good decision. And it just wicked through slightly.
Maybe the little higher high.
So if you're drawing a fib, then it's always past to present. In this case, low to high. There's his retrace back 3 rejections off the 61.8, just slightly wicked through, but the body of the candle is exactly on it. So that plus his quarter theory, that strong impulse move, a 1 minute trend line gave him enough confidence to take a very good buy there. And here we can see this. Not sure, this looks like it's coming back for us. So what? So, and these would be your take profit levels off that fib. Take profit 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'll take that off. We don't need it now. So that's now at that's at 6.6, and then a nice take profit zone again up here. So we need, we've got 1 confirmation there, we've got 2 if that breaks, and we've got our pitchfork touch, so we have got enough. We want to see this 62 coming up here, but it is still forming its higher highs. We've had a bit of a drop there. So that might be a little bit of a concern, whether it's going to carry on up, whether that is reversing. You don't always put the hull on. It'll show block of green, of course. So if this turns, this is a 15-minute band. If this starts to flash to red when it drops, then we might keep an eye on that. So I'll put an alert there. And let's just wait for that to come back for us. So that's EN. Euro JPY. I was trying to draw a scan on this off one of our old ones. So I think I'll go and look at some other stuff actually, rather than hold us up on Euro JPY, unless anyone's got anything to say on it, because I couldn't get the points to match up on the scan I was trying to draw, which was...
What was your D point for the scan?
It was one that I never got round to drawing. I had D point of the 26th of the 8th at 01 at midnight your time.
Yeah, I drew that on last night because that was one that I missed.
Okay, so is that worth looking at the moment? Is it worth drawing, or is it in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle of two forks, so it's.
Oh, well, I'll leave it for the moment then. Thanks. I was just starting to look at it before I came on, so we won't look at that at the moment. It's just this is on the hourly. You can see all those rejections off quarter theory, although it is above the 62 on the hourly.
Yeah, the next pitchfork is just above that quarter theory.
Right, okay. So we'll leave that one for the moment. Euro USD. I put 2 trend lines because I wasn't sure. I did draw this, as you can see. There, it hasn't made the median yet, so actually we're only looking for sells, and I wasn't sure if it was going to come up to the extensions or carry on and behave itself, come back down, although I can see on that 15-minute, the 62 does look like it's leveling off a bit. So it might not make it up to there. So if we mark this one up, but we're looking at where Euro NZD is buying. So we'll leave that. It should, I hope, come back up here, meet that point up there, and then come back down for a sell. But normally I wouldn't touch it if it's a new scan until it's down past this D point, because obviously you want that 62 curling back round. So not a lot we can do on Euro USD at the moment. The others are US pairs. GCAD. Just check my scans. I think I'm up to date on GCAD. Yeah, so GCAD.
Oh, Sarah, GCAD hit me hard this morning.
Oh yeah, I saw that you said it caused grief.
Yeah, it broke. I got in on a buy. I checked back in the history and I thought, yeah, it's going to form an M. So I got in for the sell probably a little bit too early, and then it went 14 pips past. I thought, no, you know what, this is to come back and get out. I got out, and then literally 3 candles later, it just dropped and gave me my 5 pips. I just looked at my screen and I thought, oh man, you're a cruel mistress.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes yesterday I found quite tricky. It's just coming up to this pitchfork now. What time was that then, Robert?
Actually, it was just before. It was coming up to quarter to 9, and I thought, don't get into this 10 before the hour nonsense, please.
Yeah. You were caught in a bit of a cheese sandwich there between the pitchfork and the quarter theory. Quarter to 9 would have been quarter to 8 your time, actually. Hang on.
No, it's quarter to 9 my time. Just before
quarter to 9, so it's quarter to 10 my time.
Yeah. I was like,
okay.
No.
Quarter to 10. So here, can't quite see why you were in the trade there, Robert, because you haven't got a pitchfork touch.
No, because it was the buy before that. I got in there.
Ah.
If you look to your left,
yeah, you
got the first part of the M, and then as that buy should have been the top of the next M and come down. So it has kind of done what I expected it to do. It didn't actually come back down to the pitchfork of the quarter theory, sorry, which I expected it to, but it came down nothing. It would have given me my 5 pips. But I dropped out of the trade because it looked too far past. And I was like, I knew you were going to do that. Why did I get out of the trade?
But you were in for a sell.
I was in for a sell, just a quick 5 pip gain. That's all I wanted. Nothing big. I knew he was going to give it to me, and he did it, and he did eventually, but I bottled out of it.
I think maybe not so brilliant because you had the 62 underneath you, which is acting like a floor, pushing price up.
Yeah,
I
looked at that.
Helped you.
Yeah, I looked at it and I thought,
oh, it's
historically
shooting up
now.
This is a self scan, right?
is the sell scan that it's sat in, yes, which is from a D point of the 3rd of September.
Yeah, the ADR for this pair, it's on the pitch from the quarter theory, so it's likely to hit the quarter theory and go down.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so likely to come up here and then want
Yes.
to turn there. Brilliant. Yeah, it's doing quite a strong push up at the moment. So thank you for that. Let's put our trend line on. And we'll set an alert. So we've got the 62 coming up quite sharply. It's doing a break and a retest off that pitchfork now. So this might be a buy for us. 8.6. But have we got enough coverage here? That would take us 20 up to that quarter theory. What's that fib there? We haven't really got, it's just to the 50%, which isn't a bad line. And you can see all the rejections off it there.
EN is back at that pitchfork. It's just deciding whether it wants to turn.
Right. So you have, that's coming up. I'd like to, we can't cover our quarter theory. I'd like to see that 62 coming up closer in case it just curls round on us, because you can see on this channel that it stalled out along here. If we look at the pivots. So I don't really want to say buy. You can see how it's actually consolidating, looking back here. So I'm not sure it's got enough strength in it, although that is a break and a retest coming to make it up that high at the moment. Let's have a look at EN. So I'll leave that one with you. EN, yes.
EN is already on the ADR, so it's
Sorry?
probably to come back down. Yeah. So this EN, it's already on the ADR.
Yes.
So it's probably go down, or
It's going to come back down now.
Yes. Yeah. It probably goes to the quarter tier and go down.
What, go up to the next one?
Yeah. Because the price is on the ADR right now. So
okay.
he probably go up to the quarter tier, so to retest it and go down.
Right. So we've got our pivots going up. We've got a bit of a one coming back there. Be nice to see a newer higher high forming up there. Just got that little bit of slippage through here. Let's see what the half-hour candle says. So I just passed the half hour. So we had a strong engulfing buy candle. We've got 23 minutes left to run of this latest candle, which opened as a sell candle. And that one there, it just made it through, but only a little bit. Two minutes left, 45 left, and that is just got the wick on the pitchfork, but that's below it there with an engulfing green candle. And there we are back on the 1 minute. So we'll have to see, it looks like it's dropping below now, whether it's still got enough in it to want to go above. So if it comes back up there, so that's EN. GCAD's done the break and retest. You've got quite a wick there though, if you see that. So never get in on a buy if you've got, until you've got a buy candle till it's curled around the way you want anyway. So I'm not entirely sure I'd want to get into that one, because normally the GBPs move the opposite way to the euros. So if we're looking at these for buys, oh, and that euro one's just shot up there. So I'd rather be looking at that for a sell. They do move sometimes at different speeds, as you know, but not for a sell till it's below the 62 on there. So how many pips off is that? 7.6. Let's just have a look at some other things. We don't have to take everything. So that's GCAD. GA. GA is dropped out of that scan. It looks like it might be coming back in. Oh, let me just look at that. You can see that line there. I didn't quite make it down to that level. Oh, so it's coming back in. So we've got GA looking like it wants to buy. So we've had the, and this is a fast pair, as we know, we had the orange 62s crossed above. It's just got to clear this inner extension. When we took GU yesterday, which we'll look at in a minute, yesterday did struggle quite a lot, and it did make its move, but for hours later, and I was out of it by then. I didn't have the patience to stay in it. But I'm not sure, and this is why Chance doesn't like trading in the extensions, because you can get trapped, and I really didn't like that GU trade yesterday, so I decided after that I'm not going to take trades where they're in this area till they've cleared the inner one. So that is coming up above quarter theory. You want to wait for it to come up here. You can see the upward trend forming. And I'll just put that on to remind us. You want to clear that. GA, you want 15, so that would clear you on both of those and the quarter theory. So that could be quite a nice one. I like the look of that one. And if we put a fib on that, I bet that's back to the 88.6. Take it from low to high, and there it is on that 88.6. They don't always work out, I find, so I don't always use them, because they can confuse me. I know that sometimes. So I'm quite liking the look of that. So that's G. Have I got an alert on there? Yes. Yeah. So that's GA. I'll show you GN because I've been doing some work on this, which I need to finish. And I know it's one that Chance says don't trade, but, oh, it's EN. Let's go to EN as that's live. So that is going off. That's stalled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes above the 62. Not a lot of volume there. Seems to still be a bit not strange because the market does what the market does, but you've still got some wicks, some strong impulse moves, and then not a lot of volume. Yesterday was sort of even worse, wasn't it? But that is coming up. But I'm going to leave that with you. I'm not going to get in that one, but you want to, I'd like to see that 62 holding that 1 minute and just curling up a little bit more. But you might just get, as we did down here, one of these impulse moves. So GN, oh, let me take that off because I wasn't trading it. Let me show you on the 5 minute. So I had to do it on the 5 minute. Hopefully it hasn't deleted all my stuff. It's very strange. I was logging in from another computer in the house. That's a bit odd because all my lines have gone. How very odd. God, I'll have to do it again. That is, all my stuff has gone. All I did was log in from another computer, which I don't usually log into, my PC. It's taken off all my drawing. Bloody hell. Right, so I can't show you that one. Anyway, I'd marked it all up to show you back testing. I'll have to do it again. Must be because I logged in from another computer for the first time. TradingView, I usually always use this one. Right, well, let's look at where it is anyway at the moment. While we're here. So we've got it buying, but it is a very, very erratic pair. So we don't normally trade it, but you've got the 62 above the 15 minute. So what does that actually mean? It means that if you're looking at the longer time frame, it's showing you confluence. So what it's saying is that it's buying here on the 1 minute and it is buying over the trend of the 15 minutes. And that's how we use this blue line compared to the orange line. And obviously if it was the opposite way around, then it's a strong indication. It's one of our confirmations that it's a buy. We've had the pitchfork touch, but you can see how wild it is because it does, this is a lot of pips here. So that's, oh, not that many, 13. So a big break and a retest back to the 62, then it goes down by, sometimes you can't even cover it by 15 pips, 6.4. And just coming up above quarter theory. So that is saying that it's buying, but it really is such a wild pair that Chance does say don't trade it. So I'm not recommending that we get into this because it can whack you out very quickly. But that's your markup for this. But what I found in the back testing was that there are about two good moves a day. One happens in London and one happens in New York, and you have to pick where you get an exact, you have to make sure it is above the 62 if you're buying, that you've got a good small break and retest, because sometimes it does big wild swings, and that you stick rigidly to the rules, you know, that it's above the 62 Anyway, I'll mark it up again because it was quite good to, there are about 2 moves a day that you can take with practice.
2 moves will quite often be opposite as well, are
they? Yes, the 2 moves are often opposite. So there aren't that many, but I added up what I do when I back test. Again, it's what chance has taught us. You take the last 10 days and then you work out where they are and you draw your vertical lines and how many pips it is. So I'd marked it all up for us, and then I just had to double check I'd got them correct, and then I was going to video it. So I'll do it again because it was really interesting. But there were about 14 moves over the last 10 days. And it was always one in London and then one early-ish New York. There were a couple where it was late New York, but you probably wouldn't have wanted to take them because you would have thought to yourself, I could get stuck very badly as the market closes. There was nothing in Tokyo, which you probably expect with a pair like this. The best move to look for it was early-ish London and about 2 or 3, say 3, between 2 and 4 in New York time. But I'll mark it up again. There were some that were a little bit later in New York. There's no definitive pattern, but there are about 2 moves a day. But you have to catch them exactly right and not take something unless it's absolutely perfect, and be very careful you've got your confirmations correct. So that's coming up there on GN. Not going to take that, but we just want to look at it. So let's have a look. What else do I like to look at? Euro GBP we haven't looked at. And we are in that scan of the 1st of September. It's come out of that. And I've got another scan up here. Oh, that is climbing still. Just rejected off that quarter theory in pitchfork, coming below the 62. So this looks like it has topped out and is selling. Let me just have a look where this scan is. That is this D point from the 21st of August. I've just hidden the scan. I've just left, there's the pitchfork. I'll just put it on, make sure it isn't a second pitchfork. I doubt it on this one. There.
Sarah, you are muted, okay?
I don't think I'd pressed anything. Oh, it must have pressed accidentally down there. Thank you. I thought it flashed up. You wouldn't want to get into this until your 62 till price has come below that, which it is doing. You can still cover your quarter theory. Just check the other euros, see what they're doing, because technically that says it's still buying. So we need that 62 to curl down, but you can see price has just coming that way now. and there's a very shallow trend line. But there is a downward trend. That's probably the hourly, isn't it there? Yeah, that's your hourly fake out. So it is forming lower highs. And let's look at our other, where's EN gone? There, let's see what EN's doing. So that has now dropped below, it's finished its run. So that is turning as well. So that has finished, I think, at the moment. It's just done that break and the retest of the 1 minute trend and 6.5. So I think at the moment the euro is deciding it's going down. Probably don't need 15 on that. So is that a left shoulder and then a head and then a right shoulder there? So I think I'm preferring that for the sell. And if we come back to Euro GBP, that hasn't quite done a pitchfork touch there. That's all slightly off, isn't it? But we might consider that. It's 0.6. So we do consider that a touch in a market of this size. What's the Euro JPY doing? All those rejections off. I don't think I've got anything for us, as we said on that one. And there that goes now. So we've had break and a retest back to the 62 and a break and a retest of that 1 minute trend, and it's below the 62, so that is selling. I'm in a little bit late, but let me see if my JFX is working, because I had to log into that again. I was trying to add accounts in. EN, come on, I'm late doing it. Right there. I'll just leave it at 0.4. I don't know what the lot size is on. Can't remember what's in this demo. Doesn't really matter. Plus 180. That was something I must have been doing ages ago. Plus 188 on Euro GBP. Account history. Trade. Let me close that. So at 0.4 lot size, what would that have been? Not that we'd be in trades this long. £975 on a buy. What date was that from? That was from the 2nd of September. There's no way I could ever sit in a trade that long. And God knows what the stop loss would have to be. Right, so here's Euro NZD is dropping, even on me getting in a bit late on that one. I'll just mark it up properly. It's good practice. 1.77222. 2. And that will take you down to back to quarter theory, at least if you're on something like EN. But bearing in mind there is that Euro news coming up. So Euro GBP, that's dropping as well. Don't get into two of the same. This is a slower moving pair. GN, that's dropped. It's in between our wedge. That's the kind of thing it does to you. GA coming up. Let me get rid of that fib. Take a few lines off. So just wait for that to do a break and a retest past that inner fibonacci on the pitchfork. And you've got your 62, you've got your quarter theory, and you've got both the outer extensions covered between your entry price and your stop loss there. So that looks like that's a buy, but wait for that break and retest, unless you get a very strong impulse candle like Charlie showed us. So I was on a bit late. We'll just look at a couple of others. I never do GBP Chef, too slow. I never do the Swiss ones, sorry. I never do Chef JPY. I've just got them on because this is chances pairs. I can't. Oh, EuroCAD I like. Have a look at that again. That looks like it's tailing off, doesn't it? But that is still saying buy though. So don't let yourself get confused. Don't get into pairs the opposite way, obviously. I can't see a pitchfork. I'm outside my pitchforks. Get rid of that. That was from that's the second pitchfork that I drew. So that means I still haven't got a new scan for EuroCAD, and now it's right in the middle here. Pretty sure I've got nothing behind, otherwise I would have put that on before. Can't do anything on EuroCAD at the moment. Right, so did we do GU? So this was the one from yesterday, and this one, I've got the D point there. Doesn't look very comfortable, but never mind, I'll leave that. So this one did make its move. Just take that off, don't need that. So when we got in yesterday, and this is why I don't want to trade again using these inner extensions, because it was quite tortuous and I really didn't like it, and I'd got out of it before it did finally make its drop. So you still would have been okay on the trade. It took about 4 hours. Take that off. You were covered on your stop loss. It shouldn't have taken you out, but it made a small drop down, and then it struggled between there, went back up there, but you still would have been okay, and then it finally did 55 pips. But I didn't find that very pleasant trading. It's not the way I like to trade, and I'm never ever going to take trades within the fibs again. Really didn't like it at all, because it's like one of those little price trap things, isn't it? Which is why Chance says he doesn't like trading, and I can see why now. So then it obviously, it's gone right back up here, and I don't know if I've got, I can see, yes, I can see, I have got a pitchfork here. So this one is, just check where it is. Mass is old. This is off 20th of Feb, this one. If anyone wants any of my old scans, let me know and I'll give you the picture of them. So it's sitting in there. Oh, that dropped down, isn't it? Blimey. Okay. So we've had a pitchfork break and a retest there, down to quarter theory. So I haven't got anything on this now until, let me just measure didn't look that big a scan, 50. So I'm going to put an alert up here. And that will be my next point of interest. So that's at 1.30329. Let's see how, and then we'll just call it a day unless anyone's got any questions. So plus 8.3 on Eurnzd now, dropping nicely. So wait, if it breaks that 15-minute and the quarter theory, and that's sitting nicely on there, then you're looking, there's an old pitchfork there at 35 pips, and I was in late on this. Oh, it was only on demo, and then there's 40 pips. So if you're in EN, and if you look back here, look at the previous, look left to see what's going to happen right, all that previous resistance, then you should be good to go for this zone of 35 to 40 pips on a pair like EN. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of that. And I'll just see if there's any questions. Anything else? I just want to have a quick flick through. GCAD on its way up nicely. See how funny the market is, how fast this pair is, and yet it did all that stall out really for 30 minutes. Euro GBP dropping. GN doing its thing, nothing, and then it whips you like one of those fish with those long barbed tails. GU coming up. Euro CAD can't do anything. GA up at the extensions now. Sorry, not the extensions. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Why did I say that? Oh, yes, inner extension. So I quite like the look of that one. Euro USD is now coming down. So that is selling. So you've got it. You've got the, but you've only got two small break and retest. They don't look very big. but we have got the confirmation. Yeah, very small. So wait for it to get below that. Put a trend line on, see if you've got that as a confirmation for a break and a retest. So you've got the break and the retest there. So that is a sell. But remember, you've got the red flag news a couple of hours time. God, look at that, you see. Dangerous. So you just have to wait till these things get below your 62. USD CAD we didn't really look at because it's New York pair. USD JPY decided to go the opposite way. I had that marked up like that and I put that as a trade idea, so obviously it didn't like that, doing its thing. Euro JPY stalling out along there, that's on the hourly though. It does look like it's going to come back up into there, so I'm going to move those settings, and I've got a new one to put on, which I'll do after this. Euro NZD coming down nicely. GA. So GA is your next point of interest for a buy. So that's it for this morning. Let me look in the chat. Can you post the scan, please, for GCAD? Yes, absolutely. We'll do that now. Ian, my pitchfork is slightly different. Can I see your scan? Yeah, I'll do that one as well. Or compare to this one. And bye, guys. Oh, thanks, Nuno. Let me just open these up. So Euro NZD. Well, I think we agreed with Charlie we were going to move them up. So let me look at that compared to oh, I think they now look the same.
Where my pitchfork run is different than yours slightly. I'm just quite curious because sometimes that happens with charts as well.
Oh, okay. So you mean if you look at this one, that's on.
I'm not screen sharing, so I can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, if I did that? Share screen.
Are you using FXCM feed or under?
Oh, and mine is.
Yeah, that'll be why it's different.
I've got FXCM.
Okay, that's probably it then.
Yeah, it does make a slight difference. Some of the wicks and things are often slightly different. It ends up the next candle sometimes.
I never really understood that. And I remember Chance telling us which ones to feed, and I totally forgot about it. Does it matter I'm using FXCM?
I use FXCM.
He's got some on Oanda and some on FXCM. Which
I know, and he explained why. He said, and I just totally forgot. It's something like these are the ones I use for live trading, and these are the ones I save. And I just can't remember. He did give a reason.
It'd be amazing if there was transcripts to search for his things, because otherwise you've got to search hours of videos.
Well, yeah, you can't do that. Or ask him a question when he says any questions.
That's probably the better way of doing it.
I know, I've been missing quite a lot of his sessions lately. I don't like the 5 a.m. ones. So that'll be why on that one. And then...
Is that when his testing is 5 a.m. for it'll be 4 for us, I think it is. Yeah. Fair enough. So it's like swapping with him when he does a London session. He's up at 3, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. EuroCAD I didn't have, no, because Connor's got it and he took a trade off it yesterday, but it disappeared off the scanner because I said to him, oh, I haven't got that one. And he said, well, do you still want it? It's gone off the scanner. I said, no, not if it's gone off the scanner.
Fair enough.
So this EuroCAD one is the one that Connor's using then, is it?
I've no idea. I've just got it and it seemed valid, so I posted it, but you decide what you want to do with it.
Oh, right. Okay, thanks. Because that's the third, just after the 3rd. So if I come back to the Harmonic scanner, there's nothing that I can see. It's gone. So I won't draw it because it's gone.
Okay.
Oh, I did find one on H4 that I was going to draw for something, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, GN butterfly. It's gone off the bottom there.
There's quite a lot yesterday that the D points were above.
I know. That's what I found trying to catch up with my scans this morning. I was very underconfident with some of my D points this morning. There's another one where I'm not sure about it as well.
I've got a guy that I'm trying to get him to scalp all the coordinates off of it.
Oh yeah, that would be good. So EN scan has not moved the D point, so we've now moved that because Charlie's moved his. So it's USD JPY. That was the other one. USD JPY. It's a shark. Oh. Well, that doesn't look very good. It's better shape than that when I drew something this morning. Butterfly. Let's look at the H4. Oh, that looks really weird. USD JPY. 3rd of the 9th. Yes, it was this one. Oh no, that's the 8th of September. This is a new one then. I don't think I've got that one. H1 cell scan. And I moved the D point up to the wick, but now I can't see that on the scanner. It was a thin, pointy one. Oh, that seems to have gone. Because that's not a thin, pointy one. Right, well, I'll probably draw this one instead, and I'll take the other one off then. Because this is what I had.
Oh, you're not screen sharing again.
Oh, sorry. I had this one. Oh no, that is the same one. Something I had, I moved the D point up to the wick. Oh, maybe it's moved it, 10th at 02. Oh, well, that's okay then.
What broker's that? Because all my USD JPYs are buy scans and they're too small.
Well, I always start with what Chance says, and he starts, or he used to, with Trader's Way because it's the main feed for the scanner. But
Yeah,
he and Sam flick through all of them, don't they?
I've got Butterfly, and it's a buy scan, and it's 60 pips.
The
That's
Butterfly.
Weird. USD JPY M30. I'll go and have a look.
That's a shark.
That's horrible on mine.
Yeah, I know. Some of them are really awful.
Mine looks much worse than that. It's like I've got. It's like I'm in the Truman Show, and everything's completely different than what's happening to you.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
It's quite weird following Chances. I'm like, where's that pitchfork, Chance?
Yeah, I know. I can't. Sometimes I just haven't got his pitchforks, and I just think, oh.
It would be amazing if they got posted first, because he's so quick. There's like 6 pairs or something, and then or 8 pairs, and then suddenly you're playing catch up. But if all the scans got posted first, you could update them and then follow along.
Well, I did do this at the beginning of the week, which I don't always do, but I have been a little bit behind with my scans, I feel. Not quite on top of them as much as usual. Usually I've got absolutely everything and I'm very clear about everything, and I just feel I've been a little bit missing a couple. So if you come to Pip Talk in IM Center, I did start here, and what I do is page 2, Chance and Samantha, and he does this, and I don't always get on the sessions these days. He updated schedule. The last one was a bit confusing as far as London was concerned. Oh, good. I'll have a look at that. So Monday nights are the best.
Yeah.
Really good, and I've been missing them lately because you can submit your charts, and if you could put your ego to one side and submit the ones you've really cocked up, which is really what we should use him for, because when we've done something right, we can submit them and he goes, oh yeah, brilliant. But what's the point of that? It's like doing biology A level. You want the teacher to tell you why one of your experiments went wrong, or why one of your maths equations didn't work out or something.
It's just positive affirmation then, which is pointless, isn't it? It's all back.
Well, exactly. So people do that, but I try and put my ego to one side and send in one that I've really cocked up, because I think, well, why did that stop me out? And I thought I had it right. And then he goes through and you think, oh yeah, I see it now, because that's what we want. That's what we're paying for. Tuesday, obviously London. So that's quite good because he goes back through his London session. This one is what I wish I knew when I started. So that's for the people streaming in. The back testing is very good on the Wednesday night, and then the Thursday night's the psychology. So which one is 5 a.m. then? Now, oh, that's this 8 p.m. No, 11 p.m. 11 p.m. EST would be 4 p.m. your time. So that's why I'm finding them a bit tough to get on those. I don't know. I'm not quite making those.
Stopped out on EN.
Huh?
I just got stopped out on EN. It went back.
Did it?
I got stopped out on EA last night. I stuck it on before I went to bed. I got stopped out by 2 pips. I think it did about 40 pips or something. The spread's really bad at 10 o'clock though, isn't it, for me?
Yeah, very bad. Wow, look at that. That's so unusual for EN to be doing this.
I always find you're better off getting out of things before 10 o'clock, unless you're massively in profit.
Oh, I never trade. I follow what Chance says. I was very tempted with EN last night after we've been chatting about it, and I thought to myself, oh, don't do it, because he doesn't trade after tea time. He's not trading, and the spreads do get bigger, don't they? There was one big spread of something I was in, and I didn't like that. But that is amazing. I never usually have that happen on EN.
They don't tell you either before you take the trade what the spread is, do they?
No.
You only find out when you're in it, and then you're like, all right, you shafted me there then.
Chance says brokers legally are allowed to move price by up to 7 pips.
Wow. That's not good with a 10 pip stop loss, is it?
So hopefully this is a big break and retest.
Yeah, it'll just be a break and retest and then get back in again.
Yeah.
One yesterday that was like that, and I got stopped out, but I don't have the time to sit and watch it. So once it's done, I have to go and work then. So
well, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's difficult for you unless you set a trailing stop loss.
It's probably not the best thing for me to be trying to do, to be honest, but I do quite like it.
Yeah, I love the pitchforks. So
one, and he said, well, here's all my charts, and he posted them. In fact, he posted all the trade ideas. He didn't post the charts particularly, but it would be quite good because you'd have a massive catalogue then of everything.
Yeah, he puts them.
He does put them on.
Yeah, there, and he puts the label on. So a day ago. So I will go through these. because he does these Monday nights. So if I've missed the Monday session,
Yeah,
then I go through these and I like them as I do them, and then I know which ones I've done.
that's clever. Yeah.
Here you are, Old Fork. So EuroCAD, he's using Oanda. So you just have to find your way around, I'm afraid. So you have to go back on TradingView, probably on the 5-minute, because it's right back in June. So he's using that old one to trade off.
I quite like it. I've got 2 monitors, so I just have one on one and one on the other. I'm quite quick now. So.
Yeah, that is good. I haven't got as far as setting that up. So that's EuroCAD back in June.
Do you not carry much credence for the second pitchforks? Because some of the ones I've drawn, I find, I suppose because I've done it and there's ego involved, I find it quite exciting that in the future they're still sticking to it. Do you think that I should probably stop trying to trade off those?
No, second pitchforks are equally valid. You just have to make sure you've got this, got it lined up accurately on the 1 minute on the C or the D. And if you can't get either to fit, then it is best fit. And if you can get touches along the median, that's stronger. I'm confident when I've drawn a second pitchfork, and I leave them there, but I try and put them in a pink or a different color to remind myself just to check back. Has it glitched, or has it followed along? Has price still respected the pitchfork? I will check it.
Because you can go in and you can change the coordinates in it as well in the settings. So if it doesn't fit properly, you can change the coordinates by like 0.0000 pips.
Oh, I never thought of doing that.
And it's amazing. It just shifts it slightly.
That's a good idea.
It's amazing.
Do you know, that is incredible. Thank you for that. That's amazing, because I find I have to go back and then fiddle with it, and your hand is trying to get it accurate like this, here.
Yeah, so my second one, I'll drag quite far back now so that I've got quite a lot of leeway, because once you're further along, you can start shifting it really incrementally. It's really good.
Yeah. So he's got a second pitchfork EuroCAD dating back to this scan from about, from June.
Yeah.
And you can see he's can't fit it on the C or the D. He's gone for best fit. So he's got to the pip there, to the pip, to the pip. He's got touches along the median. He's got touches there, a good touch down there. So it literally is, you have to work at, and there he's got some very nice touches on the median, and there. So you have to work out just what you consider best fit. So I suppose a little bit of it is confidence, because if you look at that, of course it's chance. So we're thinking, well, it is going to be perfect, but it does look very good, doesn't it?
But it's kind of like having a help to draw trend lines, really, and then you're
off. So that's
I better do some work. I gave myself.
I know. Yeah, I'm going to stop. I'm late over as well.
Maybe we'll get a second lockdown and then I'll get to learn it properly. It's interesting to hear you say you had 9 months just to sit in, because that's pretty much what I should probably do.
Yeah, but then Connor and Justin picked it up far quicker than me. So I put it down to the fact that you lot are used to using spirit levels. I just had a lot of resistance to it, but I just knew that it was the right thing for me. I did struggle with it, but I don't think my journey was typical. But once I locked in on it, I decided I just wanted to know absolutely everything about it, because I could see how powerful it was. You can't beat that 10 to 15 pip stop loss. You feel so in control.
Well, I've been looking at them recently, and some of them I think, well, why am I putting 10 pips? That, like Chance says, well, this is advanced, but it seems like a no-brainer. If everything's within 5 pips, you've got no reason really to stick 10 pips on, though.
Yeah, if everything's within 5, I usually use 7 or 8, something like that. Give it a little bit of room.
Give it some slippage.
Yeah, but there's no need to. If it goes against you, it's going against you, whether it's 6 or 7 or 10.
Yeah, and it means that your profit's much better.
Yeah, your risk to reward's a lot better.
Well, that's what a lot of other traders on other strategies just totally discount. They say they're just going for a certain number of pips, but that's nothing to do with it, is it? It's to do with your profit regulator, and that's what the professional traders do. Your risk to reward ratio, and your stop loss is your profit regulator, and that's the return on investment that you are risking on the strategy, and it's so powerful. I mean, I stick to the rules of just putting 10 or 15, but I can see when I'm doing them. I think there was one this morning where I thought we don't even need the 15, but that's up to people if they want to move things around, isn't it? You know?
I wouldn't move GN. The last one on GN was horrible. In fact, 2 last night as well, I watched go at like 10-2. Bang on 10-2. They just took me out completely. And that's when I put my last trade on and went to bed. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
GN's brutal.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yes,
sorry I've
indeed.
lost all my markups, but I'll do it again, as I say, and I'll do the video, and we can see if we can work it out a bit better, because it is a nice one to trade for the pips when it goes with you.
There's 2 things I noticed on when you were talking about that. It wasn't saving when you were.
Yeah, I went on my PC in my bedroom. I think what's happened is I didn't press the cloud, because I keep autosave off, which is what Chance tells us to do. So my autosave is off. And that means I have to press the cloud. And it's the first time ever I've logged in from another computer. I haven't used the PC for years, but it's coming up to winter, and I kind of think, oh, I'm going to sit in bed and do some trading. And it's taken off all my markup of the back testing. Because
Can't you log in on the other computer though? Because you didn't save it again on the new computer. So
I wasn't looking at it on the PC, because I was just in bed to watch Les and trade. Well, look at trades. I wasn't looking at back testing. I'd done it on this big computer. So I didn't even open the GN chart, but I did open TradingView and load it on there for the first time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so anyway, so Connor's just said he's been in GA for a buy. Oh yeah, he put the thumbs up. So he's so quick, that boy. He's just like a rat.
I've just joined back. You're on quite late now, aren't you?
No, we've been chatting. I didn't come on till about 10:10, and so we got into some chats, but John has decided he better go off and do some actual work.
I better go and do some proper work now.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So we're just about finished, Connor. We were just talking about EA turning on us at this old pitchfork.
Yeah.
And that's unusual, because it'll always do its 20 to 40 pips, but it just hasn't done that today. So hopefully it's a break and a retest, is what we were saying, because that's about 13 pips at that stall out on that old pitchfork. And then what else did we have? Euro JPY, I've got to draw up a new scan that John was telling me about. US JPY was, I had that for a sell, and it's this, which I think I put in the trade ideas, and it's decided to go the opposite way at the moment. USD CAD, can't remember what we said about that one. Don't think we were looking at that in particular. Euro USD, I had it for a sell, and that is coming down now below the 62. But when we were looking at it, it's really interesting, because I said we were looking at it just at that point, and I said wait till it's below the 62. And then sure enough, it shot right back up to do retest with a wick off. But it is looking like, but you can see it's just struggling a bit there. GA coming up nicely. So if that comes back, that's already done 20 straight up, but it might give us another entry. Euro CAD. Euro CAD's the one where I haven't got a scan. But we had an old one here we were discussing on Chance's pip talk. We were looking at second pitchfork. He drew off it from June. So I was going to look at that. GU is coming up. I had the alert set up here at this pitchfork, possibly looking for a turn on that. Well, we don't know till we get there. GN, I have done the back testing. It's not saved all my back testing, so I'll have to do it again. And that has indeed shot up. So that's done 20 pips like GN does in about 15 minutes. And Euro GBP had that for a sell, and that is working its way down. And GCAD, the last one, I had that for a buy. Did a big stall out, which is unusual for, I think, for GCAD, because it's a fast pair. So I think the markets are still a bit funny after Labor Day, because it did that for about half an hour. Yeah, half an hour. And so that's done. It's 20 pips up to quarter theory. So that was a quick catch up for you, Connor. And
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So have a good day, everyone. No trading for me tomorrow. It's Friday. I haven't done anything myself yet today, but I didn't like the markets yesterday, so I felt really very encouraged to do any yet. But I might do some. Yeah. Connor can post one if he sees a good one for us.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay then. I'll see you, everyone. Bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye.